Good morning, y'all. This is Tonetta, your relationship coach and Speak Your Truth. I help educate, inspire you to speak your truth and be who you are within your relationship. And the question this morning, I guess the Truth TV question this morning is, what does a healthy relationship look like? But like I said, right below that, the real question you have to ask yourself is, how healthy are you going into the relationship you're trying to get into? And what I mean by that is, we all know, of course, that a healthy relationship, or most of us should know, what a healthy relationship look like. It looks like two people, of course, getting along, two people, of course, able to communicate, two people, of course, able to trust each other, to depend on each other, and two people that have each other's backs. Of course, teamwork makes the dream work. I always say that. But of course, the main thing is, of course, while we all know what that relationship looks like, the relationship makes up two people, usually two people. Sometimes it has more, but I'll just use two people in this example. But the relationship has two people, the man and woman, or whoever you have in your relationship. The main thing is, of course, how healthy are you? Healthy in the mind are you going into this relationship? Anybody can get into a relationship in 5 seconds, I'm sure. But the main thing is, if you're getting into a relationship because you think this relationship is going to make you happy or make you whole or anything else, I guess, make you anything else, I guess I put it that way, then you're getting into a relationship for the wrong reasons. In order for you to have a healthy and growing and thriving relationship, you have to remember that if you're not healthy and growing and thriving, that relationship will not be either. It'll be a codependent relationship where one person is depending on the other to make them happy, to make them more money, to make them this, to make them that. You don't get into a relationship for anybody to make you do anything or to complete you, I guess I put it that way, is what some folks say as well. And like I said, getting into the relationship, you have to know that for you're getting into the relationship because you're, of course, wanting partnership. You're wanting to, of course, advance in life and move forward and help you, of course, whoever you're getting into the relationship with, you look to, of course, advance you both. You're able to, of course, you're going to agree to work together, getting into a relationship and that kind of thing as well. But like I said, if you're going into the relationship and you're not, of course, like I said, healthy, whole, mentally, that kind of thing, you're going into a relationship where you know that you don't even talk to nobody. You don't even want to tell nobody where you been, what's going on, where you been all day. You don't want to answer to anybody. That's not a reason to get into a relationship. You can get into a relationship like that, but just keep in mind it's going to cause a lot of trust issues and that kind of thing with your partner, getting into a relationship where you can care less to, of course, check in, to tell your partner where you're going, what's been going on with you, any of those kind of things. If you're not already having good communication, meaning that you're going to, of course, explain yourself at least halfway decently, to, of course, explain how you're feeling. Use good words, of course. Use words to, of course, tell how you feel and what you're wanting, what you're needing, all those types of things. If you're getting into a relationship and you don't even want to talk about your feelings, your needs, your sex that you want to have, you're so embarrassed to talk about this or that, that relationship is not going to work. I don't know where y'all get off saying that, of course, you can get into these relationships and you'll work on your communication then. Working on your communication, working on your trust issue skills, all those types of things come way before you even get into a relationship. Y'all definitely have to keep that in mind. Like I said, if you're getting into a relationship already knowing that you can care less about somebody else, you cannot even put yourself in the other person's shoes to understand how they feel. That's empathy. Any of those things. If you cannot even do that before you get into the relationship, your relationship is not going to work. Like I said, that's a healthy relationship doesn't look like any of those things, except the positive I just said. Going into a relationship where you know that you're ready to communicate, you're ready to, of course, open up your soul and open up your yourself to this person, to, of course, let them into your life, let them into your brain, let them into your heart, that kind of thing as well. That's a healthy relationship. Well, healthier you going into the relationship, I put it that way. And like I said, that definitely creates a healthier relationship. But if you're going into a relationship where you can care less to tell this person that you've been sexually abused, but of course every time they try to initiate sex, I don't feel like it, or this doesn't feel good, or can we do something else, I don't like this, I don't like that, then it becomes an argument every single day or every single time. That's an issue. That relationship is never going to work. So like I said, the main question is not what a healthy relationship looks like, but how healthy are you going into this relationship. That's the only thing that actually matters. It does not matter about the relationship itself, to be honest, at all. It matters about how healthy you are in the mind, body, soul, all those types of things. Like I said, yes, anybody can get into a relationship in 5 seconds, 2 days, whatever it's going to be. But if you're going into that relationship already knowing that you don't care about the other person, or that you don't care about making, trying to, of course, have honest, good, open, transparent communication. If you don't care about telling this person about your past, what happened, and this is the way you act, the way you do, and all these types of things, that relationship is not going to work. It's not going to be healthy. It's going to be a totally codependent relationship. If you go into this relationship knowing that you don't love yourself, but you expect for this person to love you and do all these things and make you feel loved, that relationship is never going to work. It's going to be, like I said before, a totally dependent relationship where you have to need this person and want this person to, of course, make you happy all the time, to make you feel good about yourself. Nobody has to do that. You have to go into a relationship already doing those things on your own. I'm sure somebody has told you that, or you've heard that from me or somebody else in the past. That is not a lie. That is, like I said, this is truth to me. That is the truth. I'm speaking to you right now. I know I've been in that situation, of course, expecting these things, expecting those kind of things. Our relationship, having high expectations, and I'm not doing the work myself. I can't expect for somebody else to already provide me with these things and do all these things when I haven't even met them halfway. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, that's the same thing I'm telling y'all about relationships. Yes, it does not matter what type of relationship you have. What matters is how mentally, physically, and soulfully happy you are going into a relationship. That's what's going to make or break the relationship. If you're already unhappy, if you already don't trust people, if you already are not non-empathetic, you don't care about people and stepping into their shoes to even understand the other side of the coin because you're always right. If you don't care about if you don't care about having good communication because you're thinking in your head and whatever's in your head is going to be the truth or whatever it is, and you don't care about explaining yourself to people or telling people what you need or how you feel, they should already know. Nobody's going to know anything unless you tell them. And like I said, all those types of things are not going to create a healthy relationship. You have to go into that relationship already having those things damn near all the way in place. No, it's not going to be perfect for anybody. I'm not saying that, but at least willing to work on your communication, at least willing to work on your trust issues, at least willing to work on the bitterness and the resentment that you said all men are dogs or all women are hoes or whatever it is. You have to be willing to work on those things going into a relationship. Like I said, nobody's going to be perfect going into a relationship at all, but you can at least try it and attempt to work on those things before you get to that relationship at least. And then, of course, while you're in that relationship, because I'm here to tell you that when you have a relationship going on, that's, of course, two people coming together, of course, two or more. I'll just say two people coming together to, of course, create a life together, create a household together, create finances together, create business together. That's what I want to do. Create love together, create happiness together, and a future together, a legacy together as well. And like I said, you definitely have to make sure that you're at least willing to do those things. Nobody has to make you do anything. If you get into this relationship, your partner study question you, what's wrong, and you don't care to even tell the person what's going on, then that's not going to be a relationship. All it's going to be is a back and forth argument all day long. Every time that you're something, it's always going to be the same exact thing. I'm unsure why people haven't figured it out yet. I'm like, okay, if you go into the relationship already unhappy, already full resentment, full of lack of trust, full of bitterness and all these types of things, that relationship is never going to work. Or you go into the relationship thinking that the partner that you're going into the relationship with, that you have to save them from something or that you have to take care of them. Those relationships will not work, or you end up being used in the long run. It may not even take that long, actually, but you're going to end up being used and unhappy, resentful again, bitter again, angry again, all those types of things. So like I said, the question is not what does a healthy relationship looks like. It is how healthy are you going into this relationship. And like I said, I'll speak on this again, but like I said, you definitely have to know what you want, how you feel about things, how much you're willing to communicate, how much you're willing to, of course, move past your trust issues, at least try to work on them, resolve them, heal them, whatever the thing is, how willing you are to, of course, move into forgiveness, to, of course, because going into a relationship, there'll be a lot of times your partners are going to do all types of things that you're going to possibly have to forgive them for. And like I said, definitely that's something you have to learn as far as forgiveness. It may be something small, it may be something big. It just depends on what's going on within the relationship. But you, of course, have to realize that willing to at least work on the forgiveness, willing to at least forgive and move on. I did not say forget, but at least to forgive, to heal whatever's going on, and then, of course, make a plan to move forward. That's always the case. no relationship is ever going to be perfect. You're always going to have arguments and all those types of things. But like I said, it's how healthy you are going into that relationship as to how willing you are to, of course, work through the issues that you all have, problem solve. If you're one of the ones who, of course, want to sweep things up under the carpet and could care less about resolving issues, your relationship is never going to work. I'm here to tell you, it's never going to work. Yes, it'll work, I guess, with y'all arguing and yelling and hollering back and forth and having underlying issues, resentment, all those types of things. It'll work on the unhealthy level, yes, but not on a healthy level at all. When you have, I don't care, it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a relationship with your kids, with your family, with your coworkers, with your friend, whoever is with. Any relationship that you have, you're going to have issues that you're going to have to work through and challenges that you're going to have to work through. And if you're not even willing to at least work through those challenges, those issues, those problems to at least come to some kind of resolve, those relationships are always going to be rocky and never going to work to 100%. I guess I put it that way. So with that, I want to say I just hope this video had a light bulb in somebody's head go off this morning. And like I said, this is definitely Truth TV. I'm speaking the truth to y'all right now from my own experiences, things that I've seen, of course, professionally and personally, that kind of thing as well, because I know how relationships work. And like I said, you can go into a relationship acting like you're crazy, don't want to communicate, don't want to have sex with the person, don't trust the person, already off top. You can go into a relationship like that. You can also go into a relationship that's full of bitterness, where you're full of inner bitterness, lack of self-love, lack of self-worth, lack of self-boundaries, all this anger and all these types of things. You can get into a relationship like that. That's going to create hell for you, I put it that way, and it's going to end in a nasty ass breakup. But if you're going into a relationship, you of course are trying to work on your communication. You may not have it all the way down, nobody does, I'm sure, but you're trying to work on those things. You're trying to do the best that you can. You're trying to resolve problems. You're trying to, of course, keep your own self-love up and keep your own self happy and those kind of things, and not work depending on your partner to do so. If you're going into the relationship, of course, already know that you can trust this person, that you don't have any, or if you have any kind of trust issues, that you can bring it to this person's attention, that you're not scared to do so. Bring things up that, of course, are bothering you and that kind of thing. You're willing to, of course, tell your partner how you feel. Check in every once in a while if you're out, that kind of thing, to make sure you're okay. Partners usually ask that, where have you been? Are you okay? You never did call. All that kind of stuff. If you cannot even do those things, like I said, your relationship is just not going to work. And I don't care what kind of relationship you have. It could be an employee-employer relationship. It can be you and your children. It could be you and your own parents or your siblings or whoever it is. But if you're going into this relationship, could care less about what other folks think, can't trust nobody, do all these things, those relationships are not going to work. They'll work, of course, they'll be very chaotic, I put it that way. That's the only reason, the only way that they'll actually work, but they will not be healthy. Like I said, the question is not what does a healthy relationship look like, but how healthy are you mentally, physically, emotionally, soulfully going into this relationship. And that's what matters. It's not what the relationship looks like and how healthy it is. It's how healthy you are, because you create that relationship. You and whoever you're dating or getting married to, committed to, whatever, you all create that relationship. And this goes for whoever's in that partnership. You have to know how healthy you are going into that relationship. And this is Truth TV. You have to tell yourself the truth. Of course, a lot of us don't want to tell ourselves the truth, thinking that we know everything and all this kind of stuff, when we know damn well that we don't even want to communicate half the way, or we expect everybody to know how we feel about things. You cannot go into a relationship like that, because nobody's going to even know how you feel about anything if you don't tell anybody. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here, because I'll talk about this all day. So because I'm very sure that you all get the point of what I was trying to get across. That is you that needs, if you have to change or create that change or create that self-love, create that self-trust and all that kind of stuff before you even get into that relationship. Create that communication and be willing to work on those things throughout the rest of your relationship. If you're not willing to do that, it will not work to become healthy at all. So with that, again, this is Tonetta, your relationship coach at Speak Your Truth, where I help educate, inspire, and empower you to speak your truth and be who you are within your relationship. Y'all have a great day.